As thus it rose, it. As thus it rose, it stands for being. As thus it rose to meet him bare and pure. A strong descent leaped down. A strong descent leaped down. Descent itself is a noun which is descending, you see. Descent itself is descending. What a beautiful construction. And it is strong, of course, strong, very powerful. He can bear that weight now because he has already seen that. He bears the silence, so he can bear that strong descent. He can bear the strong descent, you see. That silence is there, and therefore the silence has the power to hold the descent. Strong means, of course, it is a divine descent. D is capital. D is capital. It's a divine descent. Leap down. Now, this is not something which he was kind of expecting. He had no idea that such a thing will happen. It came, it leaped down. He was so ready. He was so ready that the response was automatic, spontaneous, immediate, at once. He was not asking even for that kind of a thing. But his readiness was such that there was an automatic response from the higher power, you see. And therefore, yes, you are ready. I am coming down, I am jumping down now in you. I am jumping down. Without his even calling for it. In fact, in words, it means that he was not even kind of expecting anything of the sort. His sadhana, his tapasya was not even to pull down that descent. It happened because his preparedness, his entire being now is so ready that the descent feels happy to be in him. To be in him, you see. And therefore it comes down automatically. So that sort of a preparation is required. You don't have to pull it down. It comes down. You don't have to pull it down, you see. What is strong descent? And you see, this is one of the rarest examples in the construction of Savitri. You have got here, as thus it rose to meet him bare and pure, a strong descent leaped down. There is a full stop in between. The line has an enjambment. There is a full stop in between, you see. This is one of the rarest. In the first part of Savitri, in fact, most of the Savitri except book 8 and book 12, all the lines are end stopped. There are a few examples in part 1 where you have got a full stop in between the lines, you see. This is one of the rarest examples. As thus it rose to meet him bare and pure, a strong descent leaped down, a might, a flame, a beauty, half visible with netless eyes, a violent ecstasy, a sweetness dire, enveloped him with a stupendous limb, and penetrated nerve and heart and brain, that thrilled and fainted with the epiphany. His nature shuddered in the announced ground. So that is a marvel. That is a marvel. A marvel, a nameless marvel. That is a nameless marvel. A nameless marvel filled his motionless hours. Motionless silence which can bear the descent. So this is the description of a marvel which was left undescribed in the earlier part, you see. Who are coming down? A might, Shakti, strength, power, flame, Agni, aspiration, will. Flame stands for aspiration, will. Beauty, Saundarya, half visible. What is that beauty? Half visible with deathless eye. See, although you have deathless eyes, you may have deathless eyes, it does not still mean that you are going to see the full beauty. It is still half. In other words, that beauty is far, far beyond any sight. Far, far beyond any sight. It cannot comprehend, it cannot comprise, encompass the whole of beauty. Beauty half visible. You see, it is still half visible with all that you see. A strong descent lived down, a might, a flame, a beauty half visible, with deathless eyes, a violent ecstasy, a powerful, assertive. Violent does not mean in the normal sense as we use here. Violent means very strong, very powerful, unbearable, so to say. A violent ecstasy, you see. In fact, that is what happened. Her violent heart lived down. The Divine Mother's boon, which she will give a violent heart, you see. A violent ecstasy, a sweetness. So, who are descending? Might, flame, beauty, ecstasy, sweetness. Might, Shakti, flame, Agni, beauty, Saundarya, ecstasy, Ananda, sweetness, Madhurya. So these five elements are now descending in him. That is a marvel. You see, might alone is not sufficient. Flame alone is not sufficient. Beauty alone is not sufficient. Ecstasy, of course, alone is not sufficient. And sweetness. Now, when he is talking of might, beauty, ecstasy, sweetness, flame, of course, we can keep aside for a minute. They mean they are the feminine powers. The aspects of the Divine Mother, of Divine Shakti, who is descending in him? The aspects of beauty, of strength, of Ananda, of sweetness, Madhurya, you see. These are the aspects of the feminine, you see. Enveloped him with a stupendous limb. Now, enveloped him with its stands for again the descent. It stands for descent. In the second line, a strong descent enveloped with its stupendous limbs. The stupendous limbs of the descent that might, whosoever is in, and penetrated nerve and heart and brain. You see again, the descent is penetrating into him. Where? Into his nerves, into his heart, into his brain. Now these are actually the physical parts of his body. It is not that it is in his soul, that in his spirit, but the very physical is receiving that descent. That very physical is receiving that descent. Enveloped him with his stupendous limb, you see, so stupendous, mighty limb, and they are embracing him completely, limb, and penetrated nerve and heart and brain, that thrilled and fainted with the epiphany. That thrilled and fainted, that stands for nerve and heart and brain. Thrilled and fainted with epiphany, manifestation, darshana. Epiphany, darshana. He has the darshana of the Divine Mother, divine power, in divinity, epiphany. His nature shuddered in the unknown's grasp. Because he has taken the mortal birth, he is the inconscious. So it is too strong to bear, too powerful for him to bear. Shuddered. In a moment shorter than death, longer than time. What a line again, you see. It's a long line also. In a moment shorter than death, longer than time. In a moment, there is an epist. In a moment short. Second foot is I am, shorter than death. Third foot is anapist. So I got anapist, I am anapist in the first half. Longer, crocky than time, I am. So that is the scansion. What a beautiful line. In a moment shorter than death, longer than time. See, shorter, moment shorter than death. You really don't know whether the fellow chap is living or dead. At a moment he's talking, next, not even a split second, absolutely no time, he's no more there. Suddenly something else. In other words, the soul withdraws in such a manner that it doesn't take time to leave the body at all.
Is it always like that? Sometimes it takes a long time, no?
But the soul, when it leaves, you may not be conscious of it. But when it leaves the body, when the death really occurs at that moment, at the moment, see, I mean, there is no there suddenly, you see, just like that. Absolutely. I mean, you are sitting all around the bed, the person is there, you are, he is responding, you are feeling on that, and suddenly he is not there. That is moment shorter than death. Death does not take time to naturally do that kind of a thing, you see. It happens. I mean, maybe the whole thing is arranged first. It may take a long time and all that kind of a thing to arrange and prepare and that sort of a thing. But at the exact moment of death, it is a 0 second. It is a 0 second shorter than you see. In other words, it is immeasurable. It is so short. You can't really control it. In other words, you have absolutely at that time no control over things, what is going to happen. See, if it were going to take a longer time, maybe you could manipulate a few things here and there. Maybe you could manipulate a few things here and there. It does not give any chance to that sort of a thing at all, you see. Longer than time. Yeah, well, but that moment still is so long, you see, so long. Endless, you see. I mean, this is an absolutely occult description. At the moment of death, actually what happens. Now, perhaps even the person who is dying, he does not know that any second things will stop and he will be no more there. See, any second, he also doesn't know at all, you see. Any second can happen. Actually, it happens in the occult world, shorter than death in terms of the occult time, longer than death also in terms of occult time, not in terms of our physical time, not in terms of physical time. See, you take this scene of the death of Satyavan. He feels extremely uneasy and uncomfortable and all that kind of a thing, you see. And then he says, Savitri, please lean down and let me lie in your lap. Kiss me while I die. He says, kiss me while I... He is conscious, he is speaking all that thing. And suddenly, he is no more there. Suddenly, he is no more there, you see. He is conscious. Savitri holds him. And Savitri sees somebody standing there to catch, to seize his soul, you see, to snatch it away. So, in a moment shorter than that, longer than time. I don't think in any occult description of death you have this measure given. You are given this measure. By a power more ruthless than love. Yeah, love can be ruthless, you see. Love is not emotional endearment. Happier than heaven. Now that death, who is snatching away the soul, is ruthless than love. His power, he is full of love. See, even full of love, you can be very harsh with the person with whom you are loving. You can be very harsh with the person whom you are loving, you see. That harshness does not mean that it is real harshness. It is also a part of love. It is also a part of love, you see. By a power more ruthless than love, happier than heaven. So death is happy also because he is taking you on the heavenward path. The happier one. Taken sovereignly into eternal arms, taken sovereignly into eternal arms, hailed and caused by stark absolute bliss. Hailed and caused. Is pulled, is forced to do. Hail means pull. You drag a load, you see, that is called hail. Hail and caused by stark absolute bliss. It is that bliss which is really pulling you up. So that is the power of ruthlessness of love. Ruthlessness of love. Shorter than death, obviously. absolutely in a whirlwind circuit of delight and force, whirlwind circuit of delight and force, hurried into unimaginable depth, above into immeasurable height, above into immeasurable height. He's carrying up now. It was torn out from its mortality and underwent a new and boundless change. So that is the kind of a transformation which has taken place in him now, you see. Underwent a new and boundless without any boundaries, without any shore anywhere, boundless. And underwent a new and boundless change, limitless change, unlimited, soulless change. So that is a marvel. So that's the whole description of marvel. A nameless marvel, you see.